Welcome back to Geodesign Games. We talked a little bit about the four scenarios that we're planning for, and we composite them into a map that shows the threats and weaknesses associated with different locations. Now we're gonna talk about how we transform threats and weaknesses into strengths and opportunities. So this is where interventions come in, and to organize the different intervention types and locations, we're gonna use 8 themes that are associated with 3 infrastructure systems. We're looking at blue infrastructure systems that relate to hydrology, and green infrastructure systems. We're going to be looking at primarily habitats for monarch butterflies because they're the only butterflies that migrate annually from Canada all the way to Mexico and back, and they are an indicator species for other pollinators. And we're also going to look at human infrastructure in terms of emergency evacuation and proactive relocation. Now, let's take a look at what each one of these themes is. So for blue infrastructure system, we're looking at WDR, which stands for water detention or retention. We would like for you to delineate 3 to 5 most suitable sites for water detention retention upstream of each dam that you or team will be considering for decommissioning. And the second theme under blue infrastructure systems is RP. It stands for Room for the River projects. We like for you to look for 3 to 5 most suitable sites for Room for the River projects downstream of each dam you would like to decommission. And third theme is DD. It stands for dams to be decommissioned. We would like for you to look for 3 to 5 most dangerous dams that are upstream of major population centers. So basically, these 3 themes are interrelated. Once you've identified a high-risk dam that is upstream of a populated area, most likely we're going to be looking at ways to retain water upstream and ways to divert flood water into off-channel area as Room for the River project, so that we can mitigate the amount of flooding that might be resulted from a dam decommissioning project. Of course, there's probably power supply and also potable water supply that would need to be considered if the dam that you're thinking about decommissioning used to be a flood control dam, a water supply dam, in addition to hydropower dam. Then some of the synergistical functions will have to be provided through the intervention types that you propose. Now, for the green infrastructure systems, we will be focusing on existing habitats that need protection, as well as habitats that have been lost and can be restored. So that's going to fall under HABP theme. And then there's another theme that's HABT, which stands for habitats transformed from other uses. So we would like for you to delineate 3 to 5 most suitable sites for creating new monarch butterfly habitats from even cityscapes such as the roofs and facades and barren land and so on. Then we'll have you look at 3 themes under human infrastructure systems. The first one is RDES. It stands for relocation destinations. So that could be a variety of different designs, we could be looking at space planetary surface habitats, because with the solar storms coming more frequently, we might be experiencing adverse living conditions on Earth that are very similar to what we have in the outer space. So protecting humans from solar radiation can basically be best achieved by space habitats, even if we use them as proving grounds on Earth. And then there also is the aspect of providing jobs and job training, because jobs are the number one reasons why people relocate. So if we can provide jobs in these locations, we're most likely going to facilitate proactive relocation more effectively. So we like for you to look for 3 to 5 most suitable sites for job-based proactive relocation destinations. And we'd like for you to think about these scenarios we presented before, in terms of choosing locations that are safe from flood-induced explosions of gas and oil production facilities, rapid sea level rise associated with solar storms, and tidal waves from polar reversal. Then we'd like for you to look at how you can move people from existing flood-prone population centers to these job-based proactive relocation destinations. So one possible mode of transportation that we're looking at is the high-speed rail network. So we'd like for you to delineate 3 to 5 most suitable sites for high-speed rail stations and lines. And then we'll have you look at air transit routes and stations as well. And it's under the theme of ATR. So basically these air transit routes and stations might be more suitable for the areas that will be inundated by these catastrophic events, because we might not be able to have high-speed rail networks through those areas, but these air transit routes and stations might be able to be nestled within neighborhoods to facilitate timely emergency evacuation from these flood-prone population centers, and ultimately to help people relocate to safer destinations as well. So in this case, we'd like for you to delineate 3 to 5 most suitable sites for flying taxi and space transit habitat routes and launch and landing pads. So you are not limited to these 8 themes, but if you come up with additional designs and intervention types, we might just have to put them under one of these themes. But even if they're not completely aligned with these themes, we'll have a way of navigating around that. But before the actual games, it will be helpful if you make a list of these possible sites for each of the 8 themes, so that when the game starts, we can input them into the interface so that everybody can choose your proposed interventions and sites. I will see you in the next video.